Okay, we're good to go. We're on YouTube. Do you need to do anything else, Jim, before I let the first applicant in, or we're good to go?
We are good to go.
Okay.
Hello? There you are.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, are you looking for me, Lois Flessler?
Yes. Is this
Okay.
Lois?
Yes,
Okay, Lois, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So you're on the phone or you're on,
I'm on video. I see you.
okay, good. Good. So tell us what you'd like to do.
What I'd like to do is, I have 4 kids at home that all drive, and I have a single driveway. So I want to double the driveway
Okay.
so I can fit more cars in rather than be on the street. And also redo my front walk and sidewalk.
Okay,
Not my sidewalk, the walk on the side of the house.
correct. So from the dimensions I see here, you want to extend it 8 feet, 4 inches over.
Right,
And that'll leave a green space of 3 feet between the properties.
right.
which
That's
is-
what you have to leave, right?
Yes. You know,
Okay.
we go from 5 to 3, so I know you want as much as possible. So the 3 is,
Yeah,
you're comfortable with the 3 if you are.
Yep.
Okay. Now, everything looks good. There's no real issues. We are tasked with wastewater management.
right.
With that, we need to drain this driveway into your property somehow. We can do that by pitching it, crowning it, so that the water rolls off into the grass areas on either side of the driveway. Is that your intentions with it? The border would be flushed at that point with the asphalt?
Would it be, yeah, I mean, I don't know, whatever the right way to do it is. I have a drain right at the end of my driveway.
Correct, but that's the city drain. We're trying to
Oh, minimize that.
minimize that. Is correct.
Okay, yeah, so whatever is necessary.
Okay. So getting back to the border, the paving border, you had, your intentions was to keep it flush with the asphalt? Not,
Yes.
not sitting proud like a cobblestone or something?
Oh, no. Do you mean to have it raised? No, I don't want that.
Okay, perfect. So then we would just ask you or your contractor, you would ask him to pitch it, crown basically the driveway. It's like 1/8 inch per foot. It wouldn't be too steep that you would notice it.
You wouldn't
but it
even
will-
notice it.
But it will shed the water into the green space on either side of the.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. And the aprons would be pavers? Oh,
Yes.
okay. We would ask you to coordinate with the superintendent of highway for the village of Babylon, Skip Gardner, his office down in the highway department. Or have your contractor consult with him.
Okay, now the contractor told me that pavers are better than the concrete as far as, I don't know, kind of like to put the concrete back in, there's a lot of more rules and stipulations and all this. Is that accurate or it really doesn't matter?
I think it's basically the same amount of work. The pavers, the strength of the concrete and pavers is pretty high. It's like 3,500, 4,000. Concrete goes by, again, the strength of it and how it's mixed.
Right, so there's no different regulations of concrete versus pavers?
No, not that I'm aware of, but.
Okay.
The
I
superintendent.
just didn't know if they wanted me to do pavers, so it'd be more money, or if she was telling me the truth, so I'm not sure.
I think it's more aesthetics.
Right. Mhm.
And again, Skip could definitely give you more information.
More information on that, okay.
He's very versed in that.
Yeah.
So, the other thing we look at is the amount of green space left on your front yard.
Mhm.
You would be required to have 1,120 square feet. You have proposed 1,664, so you're good on that.
Yeah, I should have plenty.
It's it's good to go. I mean, we'll just.
Are you talking pavers at the apron or the driveway itself?
Well, no, not the driveway. The driveway will be asphalt. They told me pavers at the apron are easier as far as regulations in concrete.
The only thing I would suggest is understand if a plow comes by or something and it rips one of the pavers up, you've got damage there, which will be, where the concrete is pretty, it'll be more even and probably less likely to get damaged.
Right, okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if she was just saying that just to kind of, boost up the price. I wasn't sure.
And you could just go down to the highway department and speak with Skip, and he could.
Yeah, I'll do that. Mhm.
He can definitely, if you want, take your quote and ask him his opinion.
Does it look legit? Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
It's a good resource.
Yeah, great.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
No, not at all.
So you'll get a letter from us approving this driveway expansion with the stipulations that we mentioned as far as pitching and discussion with the superintendent of highways. Okay. So that's it.
So then I apply for a permit next?
Yes, we'll wait for the letter and
Okay,
get that out to you fairly quickly, and then you go out for your permit.
okay, great.
Okay. Great.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Okay, I'm adding in the second applicant.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Nick.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Good evening.
All right, how you doing?
So, you want to put an addition on your house? Well, you already did, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We just went to Google Earth. We saw that big tree you had in the front there. We thought you could have saved that and sent it to Rockefeller Center.
Oh, believe me, we thought about it. Just didn't think we'd be able to find a truck big enough to carry it, you know?
I'm sure they would. That's a beautiful tree. I guess it was kind of bittersweet to get rid of it, right?
Yes, we felt bad, but we've planted a lot, as you can see there on the side, so.
Yes. So from what I was told, at the very end, you added a second story deck. Or that
Yes,
was
we did.
not the original plans.
That's correct.
Okay, so the Village of Broward has tasked us with approving second story decks.
Okay.
And our requirements are no stairs to the ground,
Okay.
which we didn't see any. From
Nope.
what we could see. And it shouldn't be enclosed,
Okay.
okay? Any lighting up there?
Will be one hi-hat right in the soffit.
Okay, so that's a downlight, which is good. What we're looking for is lights that aren't too intrusive to shine into neighbors' property, so.
Oh, yeah, no.
We asked if you do have like carriage lamps or something to shield it so they don't shine into your neighbor's property. So that's good, one downlight. I have the size from the plans as 11.9 feet by 9.5 feet.
Yes.
Sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. That's our requirements. Anybody have any questions?
No,
No, that's it.
No,
Good.
the great addition to the community. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
We're
you.
excited
Yeah, we're
about it.
excited about it.
When I first look at the house, it looks like it's half a house there, except for the tree, and now you're just continuing it. So congratulations.
Thank you,
so
thank you very much.
okay. So you get a letter of approval from us and then you can get your CO. Okay,
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
all right,
Thank-
thank you.
all right, thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Adding our third applicant.
It was the Ferraros, right, on Ellen Avenue? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. How are you guys?
Hello?
Okay, well, welcome to our Zoom meeting here.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Could you just tell us what you're looking to do here?
Yep, so we are the corner property of Livingston and Marlboro. So our current driveway that we have right now jets into our backyard. You can see on the survey what it has. So what we'd like to do is make it a half circle driveway, move it up to the side of our house, still maintaining the Marlboro entrance, because that's where we have the 143 feet long towards the back of the house, and get rid of our existing driveway since it eats into our backyard. And then we'd like to just fence off our backyard. So we have a nice square yard. Our garbage already gets picked up on Marlboro. That's where we are entering now. So that's what we'd like to do.
Okay. Well, we don't have any real dimensions here of how far forward the entrance to that circle driveway is. From the radius of the Livingston Avenue?
Got it. So
Be there. I thought it was there. What do you need the radius of? The driveway or our front yard?
The front yard, from where you wanted to start this, from the front yard to the beginning of the driveway.
so he's saying from here, there's.
So like from here to here, what's,
So
Oh, okay.
got it. Yeah, I don't think that that's included on it. So
I didn't even realize, like every other spot has the dimension. I didn't even realize that part didn't have it. Let me see that.
Where does it end? How close to the house does it come? Things like that.
okay, so we'll.
What happens to the telephone pole?
It would. No, we're
It's
gonna
going in
start
front
in
of the
front of the
telephone,
telephone
like
pole.
right in front of it, and it's gonna come up, and then empty kind of by where that tree is, but like on the street. The red tree in the front.
I see.
okay.
So you want to come in before, west of the telephone pole.
I keep pointing to my computer as if you're seeing what I'm pointing to.
Right.
Yeah, so right
After
in,
the telephone pole, it would scoot up to the house and then circle back out. We're on the right hand.
So here, like where the arrow is, you're saying, and then it would sloop like this?
yep,
Yeah, something
exactly.
like that.
Okay, something like this in front of this red tree.
Yes.
So one of the concerns we have is the distance to the corner for traffic safety. So that's why that dimension is important to us.
That's
Okay.
And we don't even have to go that far out.
Yeah.
It's just we just wanted to fit two cars. We got the idea from a neighbor, from someone over on, I think, Cadman Street, who has a corner
Yeah, they have the
property.
same thing. So
which
that's how
is-
we were inspired. Just because you see our, jets into our yard. It's a very strange little situation back there.
Right.
So the question is though, your side yard setback there is 17.7 feet. You
Mhm.
have 12 foot, you're asking for a 12 foot, as I recollect, driveway, right?
I think it might be 10.
It goes 10.
That's 12 on your plans here.
It says
12
12.
foot,
Okay,
so that-
Yeah.
So that leaves 5 feet that you have between the
Right.
house, at the max,
Mhm.
between the house and the driveway.
Okay.
And then you sure you can make that kind of radius?
Yeah, I mean, the house that we actually saw it on has a far more shallow side yard, so I feel like it'll work pretty well. But we can definitely get updated dimensions. I apologize. I thought it had everything we needed on that.
That's fine. But going through, as we review this, the question came up with dimensions, as well as as we read the code actually doesn't allow for a circular driveway on a parcel less than 100 feet wide. You're 143 feet deep, but you're only 50 feet wide. So this driveway would, if you are so set on this, you would have to go to the ZBA and ask for their permission for relief from that code in order to put this in. Hence the extra dimensions, which they would require they would want a lot more detail than what we have right here. But as it stands now, we wouldn't be able to approve this with the way the code reads. It's and for your reference, it's 36-64D. And it has to deal with the width of the property.
So let me explain something to you. The way it works is the planning board, which we are, we're here to understand the law and the code and explain that to people like yourselves, right? And so either we can say you fit within what the code and the law is, or you don't. We really don't have the ability of being flexible and saying, well, it looks really great, we're going to give you a break. That's where, so the first step is us. We explain what's happening to you. We give you some guidelines. And then if you want to pursue this, then you have to go to the zoning board to get approval, which is outside the law and the code. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I just want to explain the process so you understand what our limitations are as a board here.
Okay, the zoning board is through the Village of Babylon as well, or is that through the
Yes.
town? Okay.
Absolutely.
Village.
Okay.
The village of Babylon, the zoning
You
board.
would be asking for a variance, actually,
Yes.
from the code.
And
So
the
you'll be
reason why
close
there's
to that.
the reason why there's two boards is because otherwise the zoning board would get a lot of paperwork just for simple approvals. So that's what we act as, that buffer, if you would, to
Mhm.
see original plans. And if it fits within the law and the code, go ahead, you're approved. That's what we do, right? And if it doesn't, and you still want to pursue it, you have the option of going and getting some relief outside the code with the zoning board.
So how do we go about that? Is there, we just have to basically do the same thing with them?
Well, you have to get on their calendar. You're gonna have to post and send notices to your neighbors that you're asking a relief of zoning.
You will, first, you're gonna wait for a letter from us for denial. Then you talk to the building department and they'll direct you to get it on the calendar for the ZBA, the Zoning Board of Appeals. Okay?
But you're doing the process properly, so
Yes.
don't get discouraged, right? You have to go to the planning board first. You have to receive the letter of denial. That gives you permission to make an appointment with the zoning board to get relief. You see?
Correct. Absolutely. It is.
So
the-
don't get discouraged,
Yeah.
but this is just the
Push
way the
forward.
process works.
Yeah, so just if it didn't work though, would we be able just to move our driveway then as just where it is right now up to the side of our house?
Like
or
by where the fireplace, usually where the fireplace is, and have it end, around where the bushes by the porch are, and just have the same double width driveway, not the circular, but just move it up.
That again would come before us.
But just typically, is that something that would be approved with the right dimensions and everything there, more so than the circle?
We would have to look at it. We would definitely want to add protection to the house in the way of a planter or ballards. The code also states that you're not allowed to park in the front yard setback in front of a house unless there's a garage there. And you don't have a garage there. So, if you want to sketch something up and bring it up to the building department, we could look at it.
Your residence does have a garage already, right?
No.
No.
No garage.
So, it's confusing to me because if you go to the end of this street, right, if you go towards the left-hand side,
Towards the schools,
yeah, towards the schools, if you go to the house that's on this corner,
Yeah, they don't have a garage, and they have a double driveway on the side.
something like that is what I'm thinking.
Right.
That probably be easier. I would, we'd have to look at what your dimensions are, but I would think, Jim, wouldn't that be easier to approve?
It would be easier, again, we'd be looking for some protection against the house,
Yeah.
in the event that the car lurched forward and crashed into the house, it would be, the house
Yeah.
would be protected.
Got it. So that we would just need to put in some type of
Could
protection.
easily put some bollards at the head of that.
What was
Yeah.
it called?
A ballard or, a post or a decorative post, it's something that's
BOLL.
substantial enough to stop a car.
Got it. Yeah, I'm just saying, if we can't get the variance for the double, I'd still want to at least move it up and neaten up the house. It looks, the whole house is flipped, but the side yard looks like trash still.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not cute.
And the-
We were kind of, the other neighbor, I think it's on Cadman and something, their side yard is so much smaller than ours, and
Yeah.
their width and their length, and they have, they have that circle driveway. So, we didn't obviously have anything started yet, but we're in contract with different people and stuff. We're a little discouraged. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that house on Cadman and Beverly is actually the southeast corner.
Yeah,
That
Where
was
is it? Is this
never
it?
approved. They just snuck that in.
I mean, I don't know if they just did it and didn't even get it approved. We
They
just see
did.
it when we walk by.
That's exactly what they did.
They're
Yeah,
exactly what they
because it
did.
is a very tiny space they have. So that's why we just kind of figured, oh, we have like double, triple the amount of space
Right.
they have.
But
Well, I think, I
to your
would think,
credit, the fact that you guys came to us first without, we get people that do it and then they get, then they try to get approval and it gets to be such a heartache.
I mean, in working in your favor, you do have an existing driveway off of, Cadman, isn't it?
No, Marlboro.
Barbara,
Marlboro.
have you thought about moving it further back to the back of the property? I know it's a longer
No.
walk to the house, but it's,
It cuts into our yard.
They want to have a yard back there.
right.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that shed isn't even there anymore.
Yeah, like
we
that
don't have that
shed's not-
shed or any of those trees.
Do you have kids?
Not yet. We just got married, but we have a puppy and he can't go out yet. so.
He needs a yard to run in, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. A fully fenced in yard. So right now, no matter what we do with the way the driveway is, there's no way to fully fence it unless I don't even know how we do
Yeah.
it.
All right,
So
so
you would have to sketch something up roughly, no cost to you. You just drop it off and we could review it and give you an idea, or the building inspector could review it and give you an idea. We need to know how far from the house, how the road is from the house and, things like that. And,
okay,
he could give you, he could look at it and say, this is what you should do. So,
all right, great.
Okay,
Thank-
All
sounds
right,
good.
thank you.
But don't give up. We appreciate your effort to, improve the look of the community in your house. I think you're on the right path. So
You should think about what you want to do, because it's going to take you, if you decide to appeal, go through the ZBA with this,
Mhm.
that's going to take you a bit of time. Whereas, and if you might want to, if you're thinking you want to do the one entrance, not a circular driveway,
Yeah,
that may be a little easier. I don't know, but it may be a little easier.
Okay.
Try to get a meeting with the building inspector. His name is Steve Fellman, second floor municipal building. Right in the
I have
building.
a question. So do we need to go in front of you guys again so I want this driveway gone regardless, just because we want to spare off the backyard. Just have no driveway. Do we need to get approved for that if we just rip up this asphalt and, fence it off? Does that need to be approved, or can we just do that in the meantime, just so we can get this new fence in, and then whatever we do with the new driveway will happen whenever, we have something that's good enough to be approved?
Where will you park your cars then?
Just, I guess, on the side street.
On the side street?
It's just us two that have cars here. It's not, I just don't want to rip up the existing, asphalt, concrete, whatever that is, and then get some sort of fine for that. Just until we figure, if you say this takes a while with the driveway, we really want to have a
So the
secure
zone-
fence, just even for safety. Like, it doesn't look exactly like this anymore. It's all open. This chain link fence is all half ripped down. I don't know if the contractors did something when they were flipping the inside of the house, but it's not really secure. It's like all broken and it just looks horrible. I understand about the process of getting the driveway properly dimensioned and, having to come before you guys get.
How about this? If you, right now I see the road, Marlboro Road,
Mhm.
asphalt, and then the fence line.
Yeah,
Leave the asphalt in front of the fence, you park in front of that, you put your fence in behind that,
got it.
Okay.
You have some asphalt to park on,
Mhm.
and then you could
okay,
I'll get your driveway approved.
get the driveway approved.
yeah,
Okay,
Is that
Okay.
compromise?
yep.
Okay.
thank you. So if we just didn't want to go with the circle, do we have to resubmit everything and wait for the next planning board meeting to go about this again?
You would. It would
Okay.
be another application, and we don't meet in August. We'd try to get on September.
I think zoning doesn't also meet in August, or do they? Are they off in
There's
August?
nothing we can do for now for 2 months.
For August. We're almost done with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, thank them.
So
So then that's it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right, good luck.
Okay.
Mark,
Bye.
Okay.
Jim.
Yeah.
Well explained. Did it. It was a good job
Oh.
telling them, about what the planning board does. You said it well.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's an important thing for almost everybody who comes in, because like, what do I do? What's the difference between a
no,
ZBA and
you're
a
right.
planning board? And it's like,
Yep.
they're all confused.
That was well said. That was
All
good.
right, all right, thanks.
We're ready for application number 4.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I have 3 members, Nicole Blanda, attorney, Luigi Pasquarella, engineer, and owner Joe Giaquinto.
Okay.
Come, Jeanette's name keeps coming up.
Yeah, Jeanette's
here.
on. She's here.
Oh, she's here. Hi, Jeanette.
Jeanette's
Hi.
in a minute.
She's
Hey,
being
Jeanette.
quiet.
Yes, I'm just taking the minutes.
Okay, great.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hmm.
I'm just waiting to see if I think my architect is on,
Okay,
Mr. Pasquarella.
yes, Luigi,
Yes.
good evening.
Good evening.
And
Shall we begin, Mr. Chairman?
yes, Joe Giaquinto, I see, his name is here, but is he just in the background? He's good?
You might just be watching.
Okay, very good. Yes, we can begin.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. For the record, my name is Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville. We're here tonight to present to the board. This is our first presentation on this project. Site is 22 Railroad Avenue. The board might be familiar. It's right across from the Babylon LIRR. It's on the south side of the street. And what makes this parcel a little more special than others is that not only is it the retail business district, but it's also between North Carl Avenue and Deer Park Avenue.
Sure.
So here we go. I see the air. Okay, great. So right now you can see that the existing site is a 2-story site. There's retail component on the first floor, and then there's apartments. I believe there's 7 units in this building currently, up and down. It's been that way for many, many years. My client bought it that way. Because of the location of this building between North Carls Avenue and Deer Park Avenue, in 2019, the board might be familiar that the code was amended to now permit 4 stories on these properties. I believe with the intention to create a transit-oriented area, a transit-oriented development, to try to partner with the walkable downtown that's right here and the ability to commute to and from the city, so that maybe young professionals or really any professionals that might be commuting out of the city would have apartment style living close to the railroad. And also the idea then would be less cars on the road. So our proposal, again, we are proposing 4 stories. The entire first floor would be retail. And then the 3 floors above would have a total of 12 one-bedroom apartments. The applicant has discussed with the property owner at 216 Deer Park Avenue, I believe that's the Argyle Jewelers, the concept of, and they have a signed lease agreement, but obviously we still need to go through all of our zoning approvals, but this was, just an effort to get parking. So we have a lease agreement with Argyle Jewelers in the rear of their lot, where it kind of touches on the corner of our parcel, to have 12 spaces. You can see on the site plan that we submitted, there's, we actually have a whole layout of 216 Deer Park Avenue, and then there's 12 parking spaces in the rear that we could access. And then the idea would be that the landlord would assign each tenant, so each one-bedroom unit would have 1 spot assigned to it. So we would still need a parking variance, but we believe that with the 12 spaces that would be assigned, and they would each have their little, the little thing that you hang on the rearview mirror so that they know which tenant belongs to which spot. And then with municipal parking for visitors and such, we believe that we would be able to accomplish the parking for this that we would need for this building. The retail, there is no retail parking requirement per se, in the code itself. We do recognize that we need variances. We know we would need a special permit from the Board of Appeals, as well as, density and lot coverage. There are variances that we need.
Right.
But this is our first stop. So we obviously, we are looking for feedback, and we want to, address any questions and concerns, or at least, hear back from the board and then set out to respond. But we do, I know that Mr. Giaquinto wants to, invest money and time into this project and is really excited about it. We did submit some renderings for the board. I hope that that those have been circulated to kind of give you an idea.
Yep. We've seen them. Yes. Thank you.
Great. But like I said, I have our architect is here tonight with us, so we're kind of looking for questions, feedback, concerns.
Just, I know you know the code, and the village requires the units to be 500 square feet or more. The floor plan that we have, we didn't see any square footage on the units. We scaled it, and would the architect have the standard sizes there? There's 4 units on each floor, but they seem to vary in square footage. So I was just wondering if those dimensions were available.
I've prepared the site plan. I have not prepared the architectural drawings. I do have them. I'm just trying to look for plans that do have sizes on them.
Okay.
If you just give me a minute, I'll try to locate them.
But as you take this project forward, you of course have all that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now, for our purpose, you're saying they're over 500 square feet.
Yes.
That's correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, 500 square feet plus. Okay.
To give you an idea of the overall area of the second, third, and fourth floor, it is 4,054 square feet is the footprint of the second, third, and fourth floor. The first floor is slightly less.
That seems larger than what we were told.
Yeah, we were told
3,906 square feet.
That is.
That's what the plan.
Okay, that's the, there is an overhang on the front of the building that the second, third, and fourth floor cantilever over the first floor. So the first floor is 3,900 square feet. That's the retail area. So if you look on the architect's elevation.
It says typical residential 3906.
3906.
And it has the base.
The common area of the stairs, elevator, and hallway is subtracted from that.
Yeah. No, I'm just telling you what your plan that's submitted says. It says typical resident floor, 3,906 plus or minus square feet. Now, is there a change? Do you have a new set of plans or something?
Which plan are you referring to? My site plan?
A2.0.
Yeah, that is John Sangren's architectural plan.
Yeah.
That I did not prepare, so I can't really speak for him on that. But I can confirm those numbers from him.
So we will definitely confirm that.
Yeah.
Great. And you mentioned the density. You know you have a density issue.
Yeah.
Per acre, you got 12 and a tenth of an acre. So you know you need a variance for that.
Yes.
parking lot is at 0 feet. 10 feet is required. The rear yard, you say you go from 0 to 10, is that correct?
Yeah, if you look on the site plan, you'll see that,
An angle.
yeah, in that back, if you're looking at the building from the front, in the back left corner, there's a small little knockout. And the reason for that is when people are exiting the building, they're on the owner's property. So to get into that hatched area, parking area. So at that one location, it's 0. It's actually touching the property line. And then as it goes west, it is, as you can see, not parallel. So that setback gets larger.
So to access that parking lot, we can still access that parking lot, right?
Correct.
And that's the 10 feet there, there's 10 feet
No, the 10 feet would be on the west side.
on the west side.
Right. That little notch where the exit is again, as patrons come out of the or residents come out of the building, they're able to immediately go east, walk in that hatched area, and then ultimately get to their cars and park.
So how do you, the other two exits in the site plan, how do you egress the property from there?
So you're talking about in the rear?
Yes, which
So
is where you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, there's 3 exits in the rear.
Yes.
If you look on, do you have sheet A101?
A101?
This is the architect's plan.
I got A10.
I'm sorry, A1 1.0.
Okay, yes.
So if you look in the rear of the building,
Yeah, you have the exit for the retail and the emergency exit for the residents, the fire stairs. The question I have is, how do you exit the property? Is there a way out of the property should a fire occur, or are you stuck in an enclosed area? From the 2 exits, not the exit that you say you're going to connect to the Argyle parking lot, but the 2 exits that you have
No.
coming.
Just a moment, Bruce, you're making a lot of noise, so put you on mute if you can. Thank you.
We got you. Sorry about that.
so if you look on that west corner, you can see the end of the neighboring building. So
Yeah.
if they needed to get out off the property, they would actually walk behind that neighboring building.
Okay.
So you're talking about the UPS store?
Correct.
Yes.
So there is no fence between the 2 buildings?
No, there is
No,
No.
no, there's not.
And you're gonna make provisions that the neighbor does not ever install a fence?
That I believe Mr. Giaquinto has spoke to him about that. I don't know if that's been confirmed. But that,
Just because if there were a fire and there was egress there, you don't want the,
I understand.
yeah,
I understand.
I don't want anybody trapped in an area.
Right.
And you said you had a lease for the parking?
Yes.
Yes.
We have a lease agreement with the owner of
Is that a
260.
100-year lease?
I'm sorry.
How long is that lease?
As of right now, since we didn't know where we were going with the zoning approvals, it's a 10-year lease.
So if this lease doesn't get renewed in 10 years, what happens?
We're going to be revisiting the property owner. This is what we have right now, but I did say that we should revisit with Argyle Jewelers once we have a more definitive site plan.
Okay.
So Argyle Jewelers is, of course, they gave you a lease for 10 years right now. You don't see a problem going forward for a long-term lease?
I understand, right. I understand the concern, and I would want my client to have a longer lease. So it is something that I'd like to have revisited,
Like 99 years or something.
like 99 years.
Yeah.
But even with a lease, there's got to be some permanence to that, because in 99 years, if the lease is up, that building has residents and no parking, there's going to be a problem then.
Right, I mean, perhaps something more like an easement.
That would be,
Again, you know, given we had discussed this back right before COVID. And then COVID hit, so, you know, things were kind of put on ice for a little bit, but it is something that now that things are opening up again and people are available, that we want to revisit.
okay. So going back, talking about what the ZBA is going to be looking at for you guys, we know the parking, 27 required, 12 provided.
Yes.
The density, the dwelling over the retail, the ZBA looks at that as well. Front yard setback, the rear yard, I guess that 0 they would look at that as well. We know that 4 stories are allowed, the 40-foot is fine. The square footage of the units seems to be fine with us. And of course, somehow securing a long-term lease for that parking. Have I forgotten anything or missed something? Mac, anybody?
Do they need a variance for the parking? Did you mention that?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, we know.
Okay.
27 required, 12 provided.
All right, while we're talking about the parking, I would like to address the condition of the lot, actually.
Very good. Yes.
Yep.
We were out there today and it's just falling apart. It's, looks like the area around the drainage is caving in. It's gonna need a lot of work. I think the building inspector, the head of the highway department will probably insist that something be done back there. Excuse me.
You're talking about on
Any
our,
thoughts on that?
Hello,
Yes.
can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, it's Joe Giaquinto. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Joe. All right.
How are you? So just to address a couple of those things, we are redoing the parking lot. I spoke to Joe from Argyle. I've been speaking to him. So one of my agreements with the parking is that I would redo the lot for him. So we will rip out the old asphalt, fix the drains, and repave it. So that I am doing.
Great.
And also, I also have an agreement with him, which I'm gonna try to finalize legally, that we would have the first right of refusal to buy his property, if and when he decides to sell it. So I'm trying to work that out with him as well. I mean, he just bought that a few years back, so he's not really selling it anytime soon. I may try to buy the piece from him in the back area, just the little bit of parking that he is giving me, which he may consider. He just deciding on what he may be doing something at his property as well. So he doesn't want to give up the land yet until he knows what he's allowed to do or what he can do. So that's how it's going right now. So I'm sure down the road, one way or the other, I'll either have to end up buying that lot and buying the building and the lot from him, or subdividing a piece of property in the back that I have my parking on, and maybe buy it from him.
And then getting an easement for use of his driveway, right?
Yes. Yep. We'll have an easement and use of his driveway. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And we also have an easement. We also have an easement with the UPS guy next door, by the way.
We do.
So yeah, so they can't put a fence up. They can't do any of that. He's got to give me access to the back. There's an easement for that already in place when we bought the building.
Okay.
On the school side, touching the school parking lot.
Right. What are you going to do for your garbage room?
Right now, the garbage can's in the back, at the end of that driveway. I don't know if we're gonna. I was debating debating possibly putting in a trash chute, putting it in a room that you roll it out, or possibly putting it in the same spot in the back with how they typically, a lot of times they do in these types of situations, they'll put wheels on them and roll them out, and then the truck picks them up,
Right, right.
which
One of the
makes a lot of
village's
sense.
requirements for dumpsters is that it's on a 6-inch concrete pad, 6-inch thick.
Yep. Yep.
and, You know, surrounded by a chain link.
Yeah, fence.
Panels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we have there now, pretty much.
Mhm.
It's in the back corner at the end of that lot, and that's the truck drives up, he dumps, and then he backs out.
Okay.
So that's where it's located at this point. So we'd have to work through that, which I'm sure I can do.
Located in the parking lot, you're at Argyle?
No, right now it's at the end of behind the UPS in that easement. That's where the
Oh,
garbage.
okay.
Yeah, it's on the outside there.
So you got a bit of utility pole relocating and stuff to do with this also, right?
I don't know if that pole, which pole are we talking about?
The overhead wires, are those the wires that service your existing building?
Yes, I'm gonna go. I anticipate going underground. I gotta work that out still, rather than having that ugly wire coming across the road.
Well, I'm talking about the one that comes across the property in the rear.
Yeah, there's a pole back there. Yes, now I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
And I'm just curious, the wire that's there, that's servicing your property or?
You know what? I don't even, Lou, is that servicing us? or not? I don't even know.
I believe the feed is in the back of the building, yes.
It runs along the back and then it feeds, I think it feeds the other building next to us too, right?
There's the utility pole you're talking about is on the west side, directly behind the UPS store. And then there's wires that head east. They serve, there's an overhead feed. That's the overhead feed for your building. And I believe they do continue further east.
Yeah, so we'd have to move the pole.
Are there caissons right here then, right now, where that area is of the parking lot? Looks like, what are the structures here?
The storage containers?
Yeah, it looks like storage containers or.
On this, that's on the school property, I believe.
That's on the school side, I think, right?
Well, this here, right here is the parking lot that we're talking about, right? And that's the entrance, obviously with the sensitive entrance and exit for fire situations.
Oh, you're talking about with your Argyle side.
That's correct. That kind of.
Those are actually the villages. Those are Skip's. He's got I know Joe let him keep them behind there as to do him a favor when they were doing when you guys used to do the village when you closed down the street.
Oh, okay.
They have all the barricades in there, I believe.
Right.
But those are gonna have to go.
Right. And all of this area here, I know you have an easement with the UPS store, but what?
Yeah.
You're on the site map, you're talking about this being part of the school district, and it's odd to me that this is fenced off from the school district, so.
Me too. I said the same thing.
It looks like the people are encroaching on the school district property without them even knowing it, but.
You know what's funny though, that I bought it like this and it did not, Lou, it never came up in the title or any of that crap, right?
No, I was able to figure it out from the survey.
Right, from the survey. But what's funny is we didn't put that fence up. They did.
Right, that fence was always correct.
Not to use a monopoly term, but this is kind of like free parking, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Right now it is. Yeah. Right now it is.
But once again, the concern is that, to understand who owns this, there could be a fence here if that owner decides to do that, which would totally block the backside of the building.
Given the fact that
you'd still have room. You wouldn't be able to park back there, but you'd still have room to walk out. There's still 10 or, Lou, how many feet are left if we move the fence?
if you were to move the fence back to your property line,
Yeah,
Could zero out.
on the east side, according to the.
no, on the west side, because that's what they're concerned, that you could walk out, but you're gonna be able to walk out from
Okay,
behind the building.
so between the back of the UPS building and your
Well,
property line is
yeah.
about 8 or 9 feet.
Right, so you can walk out, no problem.
And the utility pole is like smack in the middle of that 8 or 9 feet.
Right,
I
right in the
have
middle
just
of
a question, and this would be something for the town, the village board and the schools and everybody. But if the school has fenced off that area adjacent to the UPS building, it looks like somebody's parking there already, right?
Yep.
And like I said, there's a lot of people who would have to be involved. But what would be could it be possible to connect the Argyle parking lot through that and have some sort of circulation so that the traffic conditions at that Deer Park entrance could be alleviated?
Yeah, because on the site map, this is indicating two-way traffic. I don't see how two cars can get past here.
No, there's only one car. That's a one.
Yeah.
One car, but it's two-way traffic.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying, would you be, I mean, if you're going through all this work to work with Argyle, I don't know what the situation with the school district is, but it would certainly alleviate a traffic flow problem for you.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
And I wouldn't know where to begin to approach it.
So would that turn the entrance that's going into the Argyle Jewelers parking lot into a one-way, and then they would loop around and come out on Railroad?
So that's what I'm thinking.
Seems to be like a safer, because the other thing is, making a right turn out of here is one thing, but making a left turn and peeking out.
Yeah,
we're concerned that, if you have an SUV parked here, the visibility, and if we're having a lot of traffic, that's just a concern.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would love to work something out with the school, but I was hoping that maybe you guys could help with that, or somebody in the village could help with that, because it is a village school, right? So.
Well, I think, as Rich said, there's three components here. You have the school district to get involved to make sure who owns that land. You have the UPS building in Argyle and yourself now. So somehow all of that needs to be coordinated with proper agreements and understanding.
Yep, that makes sense.
Probably the first person you should talk to is Skip.
Yeah.
I know, he might know, you're right.
He may know.
But I think that it would make your building and property safer. It could allow you to even, you could almost, you could even say, buy that half of the parking lot, and cut it off. But I still think the flow through traffic would be better for both facilities.
It would definitely be better. I agree with that.
That's
Everybody.
a good option.
I mean, if we can get that done, that would be, I would have no problem with doing that. But we are asking for the variance for the 12 spots. So I don't know how many times those people are going to really go in and out with their cars during the course of a day, or a week. I would think most people that would rent there are gonna want to be in the village or have a reason to be there. They're probably either gonna jump on the train or walk somewhere in
I
the
would
village.
hope so. It's
you
just
know.
I've gone to Argyle Jewelers and I've parked in that parking lot, and
Yep.
it is a bear to get out of and get into.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
For me, on a one-off, that's fine, but to do it every day, people become lax if they're, let's say, they go out.
Right.
I just trying to avoid an accident.
No, I can see that. I know that driveway's a little funky, for sure. But I think it's something we can work through.
All right.
Yeah, and we can definitely take a look through the easement agreement that's there, the right of way, and then try to reach out to the school district.
We can definitely do that. I'm open.
Sounds good. Does anybody else have any questions for the applicant?
No,
Well, I would just say the building and the plans look beautiful, so, you know,
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to create something nice. I mean, obviously, we know that the building right now is not that appealing. I never rented the retail down below because I knew down the road I wanted to do something with it. So I've never attempted to put anybody on the first floor, which would be a crappy tenant regardless. So I'm trying to get away from all that and build something, something nice.
I think just other thing to keep into consideration, you know, right now it shows one tenant on the first floor. I don't know if your intention is go for two tenants or, you know, be flexible with that. So
Yeah.
you may want to include that in your plans that you put together.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was going to talk to you guys hopefully down the road. I know I could get a AAA tenant in there if I was allowed to, but I know that the village is they're very skeptical about allowing any public or any corporate tenants, in the village.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to.
That would be a discussion with trustees.
Exactly. So that's a discussion for another day, but there's some positives with it where they keep, it keeps they would stay in business, keeps the storefront. They keep the places nice. I know a lot of the retail stuff tends to struggle,
Yeah, it's a tough time for retail.
yeah.
No question about
So, but
having those apartments there will help that.
yes,
With
it
the
would
right
definitely
retail.
will help. Definitely would help.
When you say,
And I know I can't do apartments on the first floor, so that would be a no-brainer, but
Right.
at that point.
That's one of the problems with that building right now. There's apartments on the first floor.
I know.
Right.
The only place it's in the
I
building.
thought I'd be asking you guys for too much if I said, can we do apartments on the first floor? 'Cause they're
No,
already there.
yeah, you're right. You would have been.
You would have been, yeah.
So,
Hey, one quick question about the parking lot. Do you plan any kind of lighting and security?
yes, I did speak to Joe about putting some lighting definitely in the parking lot.
Okay.
We're doing so everybody knows I'm doing key fobs on the doors going in from the street, so you're not going to be able to just walk in. That's why we created that vestibule. So if the retail tenant is open during the day, you could walk into the vestibule to go to the retail, but at a certain time it would shut down, but you'd always need a key fob to go into the foyer of where the elevators are, where the elevator is. Same thing with the back. You're not going to be able just to walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of people, say women getting out of their cars or something, coming back to their apartment. Their
Yes,
apartment.
and
I
I
don't know what kind of
agree
lighting
with
is
that.
there now, but I just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, the lighting on our side I put lights in on my side. I don't know what he has on his side, but we would definitely light those areas up. And we were also talking about putting something coming in from his driveway to stop people from trying to park back there, whenever they really wanted to.
Yeah, right. That's an issue.
Because he does have that issue sometimes, and he's chasing people away.
and that would be your only downside of if you do, let's say you get that connection, you may get people parking or trying to get to a train.
Yeah, then we call that tow truck to pull him right out. That's it. They'll learn quick, But unfortunately, those are things I'm sure we can work through. But I mean, if people are going to do it, they're going to do it, and then that's something we just have to, like I said, start towing cars. Once you start towing the cars, the word travels quickly, So.
Okay, we good?
Okay, well, I'm good.
Yeah.
Everybody else is good?
You,
Okay.
so, you guys have the site plans and everything? I mean, you have the building elevations also, correct?
We do. We have that.
Okay.
renderings. All
Okay,
very-
good.
As Jim said, it's a very nice project and I think it'd be an asset to the village.
So this was what? I guess, are you coming formally before the board, I guess, or just for a preliminary review?
I would like to go formally in front of the board. Eventually, once we
I mean,
know
today.
that.
What do you mean, Rich? This-
Is this our final review for this, or are we expecting another submission?
No, this is our final review.
This is their
Yeah.
submission. And we'll be responding with a letter.
And they'll be going to the ZBA.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
I
Okay.
thank everybody. Thanks for your time. I
We have
appreciate
an address on file who gets the letter. Do we?
The letter goes to.
Maybe
421 Carl's Path, Deer Park, New York, is that?
429.
429 Carl's Path?
Yes. Yep.
And attention to you, Joe?
Yeah, that's fine.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Good
All right,
night.
good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank
Have a
you.
good night. Thank you.
Good night, Nicole. Good night, Lou. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right now, I'm gonna go to CPA, zoning board.
Which,
Somebody's on. So.
everybody leaving? Okay, we're
We're still live on
still
YouTube.
live, yep.
Okay, you guys all set? Did you need to wrap up or anything or any other items?
I think everybody okay? We got everything?
I think we're good.
Okay,